Yo, what's up? It's your girl Tia P, and you are now tuned in to Global Money Radio.
Here it comes.
Since the far-off days when man first heard a scratchy noise on a cylindrical drum, accompanied by staccato human tones, it has been his aim to add breadth and depth, to give realism and spaciousness, and even where it applies, to convey actual movement.
Intro, I start to go, my rhymes will flow, so get up and dance, cause Kane said so. If you were lounging around, it's time to get up. Pardon my expression, but I'ma tear shit up. I'll appear right here and scare and dare. A man must appear that would dare to come.
Yo, everybody, this is Rich, a.k.a. Coach P, and y'all tuning into another great episode of Coach 88, bringing you some of the best artists in urban entertainment. You guys know I never really talk too long in the intros. I like to get into the great music that I have for you. This artist today is straight out of Chicago, and I got a great record from him while he's putting on for this city.
I'm convinced the incidents never could stop, cuz from my block with nothing lit, hidden dumb pockets. Heaven coming quicker, nah, where he went, bruh, nigga can't access. NASA give a rocket 321, any one-on-one them problems. Conquer right there, teach you how to solve stuff. YOLO applies, but not the good times. Bad man don't do drive-bys, they rather do walk-ups. Keep it bustin' like a charter. White stepped on, water down, them clucks around, catch me still whipping up the water. That'll get Jesus breathing harder. Hearts hardened, kicking well, Spartan, a lot of where the hell God was. Defensive for my existence, but it kill your ass regardless. Winnebago, sink with pesos. If you make hot moves, lay low. If you can't shoot how I shoot, you stay home. In Chicago, in Chicago, in Chicago, in Chicago, in Chicago, in Chicago. Sick and loud, Illinois, bullet shot you cannot avoid. Would it stop though? Hell if I know. In Chicago, in Chicago, in Chicago, in Chicago, in Chicago, in Chicago, Dan Ryan was the train, why I came up with my name. Biggastate taking off, without any kind of plane. Don't care about a thing, when you come from where I come from. Steady prosper through the pain, steady prosper through the pain.
Hey, steadfast through the pain, like I'm Jordan in the paint. Through the wind and the rain, think a nigga need a rain. Sharks two-piece with a groupie, make a nigga go insane. In the city full of pain, where you gonna bring fame? From the south side Stony, making noise like Sony. Where every corner start Tony's, murder rate one and only. South side we the best, but you make it out and you blessed. Only time niggas graduated when it went and turned on west.
All right, everybody, and the artist that I have for you today, my man Stroud Chicago, Biggastate. Biggastate, you on?
Yes, I am. Glad to be here.
Man, glad to have you, man. So, man, just tell us just about that track. And, the title of it is Chicago. What does that track mean to you?
Well, that track is everything. I mean, just like in the lyrics, it was like Dan Ryan was the train where I came up with my name. Dan Ryan is a very iconic train for Chicago. That's where I'm born and raised. That's where I came up with my name. It's literally going through Chicago what gives you this kind of charm everywhere, because I've traveled all around the country besides Alaska. And it's this charm that people notice when you are a diamond in the rough, or when you're grinding to survive somewhere. It gives you this refreshing personality that projects to people, that opens doors that only going through that type of experience can open. You get a certain type of humbleness. You can be hungry, but not greedy. You know what I mean? So Chicago for me is something that, had not I been from Chicago, I would not have been able to have a collective of styles. I didn't want to be marginalized like J. Cole, or be marginalized oh, you sound like J. Cole, you sound like Kendrick Lamar, or you sound like, I wanted to be able to, I didn't start to look up to, I stopped looking up to a specific artist. I started looking up to the dynamics, what makes people sound like the style that makes Earl Sweatshirt sounds like what he sounds like, and things like that. So I started to break down my style because of the collective of going through all the different flavors that's in Chicago. You can have the Bosnians, the Mexicans, all these different things. You got to go through a lot of different flavors to really find yourself. And because of coming from Chicago, it made that much more possible.
Yeah, this is me, all my family, I pretty much, Chicago has been a second home for me. Just going there, Chicago is probably one of the most diverse cities that you could probably ever go to. Like, I went to, I remember going to Chicago pretty much from when I was like, at least earliest I can remember 5 to where I'm at now. And I didn't even know Chicago had a Chinatown until I was 26.
Oh, man. Chinatown. Cool.
Yeah. I did not know that. So
that's go ahead. Sorry about that.
I know, but just a question. So, like, I could just hear how influential Chicago has been for you. But by chance, do you think that you could have been the same artist that you are now if you weren't from Chicago?
Oh yeah, that's exactly what I was explaining in my synopsis. No, I would not have been this artist. Like, I had to go through what I went through in Chicago to be this artist. I had to go through the training of, like, malicious people, the training of people that can smile in your face and actually don't want you to. They want you to do good enough to where they can feel good about themselves, but not too good to where it makes them feel less about themselves. You know, dealing with the people, like, Chicago is a place that makes you graduate from people. Like, if you can actually deal with any personality in Chicago, I feel like you can deal with any personality anywhere.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that a lot. So, how would you describe the Chicago hip hop scene present day?
The Chicago hip hop scene today?
Yes, how would you describe it from your point of view?
Honestly, it's very fruitful. Like, if you look at it, you know, like, when back in the day you go to the 2000s or you go to the 1990s or whatever, and you would realize, you would talk about how many artists that came up. You know, you would talk about Common, you would talk about Kanye West, but it was about on your fingers. Now, today, you're hearing about so many artists, like, in their own way that they're coming up. Like, there's people that's coming up, Drill, Chief Keef, like, literally, like, made, like, just like how you can bring back a certain type of style, and then they make you, they can pay homage to your name because you brought it back. It doesn't mean you made it, but you brought it back. You know, each era, like, had their own thing where they can bring something back, like NWA, like, not bringing something back. They were starting something, you know what I mean? And he was just bringing back that, people still love that gritty Booty Rock the Bam. And, like, you got Chance with the inspirational, like, trying to actually be somebody, like, that has a reputation, like, from a city that has a reputation that's supposed to be this. And I want you to perceive something different from me, you know what I mean? And then you have the other artists, like the breakout artists, they get, like, YouTube songs, and then next thing you know, now everybody's talking about Polo G, you know, like the what's his name, YBN Amir, like, all these different. We get to actually have a conversation now about Chicago artists that's coming out. We get to have a lengthy one now. So that's how I feel about Chicago artists now.
Yeah, because to add on what you say, it's such a plethora of young artists coming up. Like, my brother, he stays in Chicago, so I still remember, like, every time I go to see him, he always, hey, have you heard this person? Like, on YBN the Mirror, like, he was one of the people, and YBN Corday, especially one of the people who stood out when he was like, hey, listen to him, like, he big up here. And Juice WRLD was one of the last people he showed me, where he was like, yeah, he went to one of my friends' high school. It's like there's so many new people. Every time I go to see him, it's always a new Chicago artist that's just shining. I was like, Chicago hip hop scene is just really great right now. Like, what step would you like to make on the Chicago hip hop scene for yourself?
Can you say that last part again?
I said, what step would you like to put on the Chicago hip hop scene for yourself? Like, what would you like to be known as for the Chicago hip hop scene?
Honestly, I'm trying to do something that's completely different. My goal is to actually change a majority by getting people into their end goal jobs. Like, I'm actually starting a company with a lot of people that, like, from my city that they couldn't do anything because they got felonies and things like that. They couldn't get hired and all these different things like that. And a lot of people make it, like, they kind of get, there's some people when they're intellectual, they get bitter because they're perceiving the world, they're taking a lot of data, and how they feel about the collective of it kind of comes off in some hardened heart way. And then there's those that feels like, okay, I have a responsibility because I have more of a capacity. So I'm seeing all of this like suffering. I'm seeing all of this stuff that I can do something about, and I'm noticing there's a lot of artists that got stuff that they don't need, like golden Lamborghinis. Like that could have went towards literally teaching the kids in Chicago what taxes is. That could have went towards like, and I understand like Chance the Rapper donating $1 million to charity and things like that. Like I want to be able to go and see where my money is going. I want to actually involve myself with Chicago and not just like you can't even try to assume that it was for publicity or my own self-advancements. Like it literally made the city prosper. There's potholes. There's cities you can't drive to see your grandmother because there's potholes. Like there's things that as an artist we sing growing up, and then a lot of these artists are ignoring it, and I don't want to ignore that. And as well, like to be able to be an artist that breaks out in the way that he wants to break out, because I didn't go through any big label or anything like that. Like I generally made myself from word of mouth marketing, going through to every state and did my fans personally, doing 200 shows in Hawaii, and putting like generally I want to be known for making music buzz in places that's never been before. Like I'm touring in Hawaii and Iowa, and you would never think these places would be for hip hop, but they got some of the most diverse. Like I found a Hawaiian Frank Ocean out here, and I feature with him so much. Like he's the one that helped me get my Shade EP to 1 million streams collectively, because like the man is a producer, he's a singer. This man is named Kyle Strings. He's a producer, a singer, guitar player, and the only thing that he doesn't have is self-esteem or self-confidence, because his city doesn't agree with what his direction he's going to. Like for artists like that, like, you know, and for other people, like I want to be able to start a company, because this is a very lucrative industry. I want to be able to start a company to whereas when you get hired, there is no more struggle. Like it's like, oh, you get a six-figure income without having to be an NBA player, without having to be a rapper. You had so much more to provide to some place. A place just had to need you. That's not fair. So why not make a place that needs a lot of these different alternative talents, that needs these graphic designers, that needs these people that had an affinity to have these talents, but nobody is doing, like, I can be good. You know what I'm saying? Rappers, they're over good. Their generations are good, and they're not making sure the majority is all right, but the majority is what keeps them famous, what keeps them rich. So I want to be known to actually change that.
By chance, is that something that you've always been passionate about since you started, or was there a specific moment
very reason why I started
where
rapping.
You just knew? Ooh, okay.
It was the very reason I started rapping. It's the only thing that's on my mind. When you see like all of the publicity, when you see all of the things that's connecting me to all of these different clothing brands, these different family-owned clothing brands, you see how I'm getting viral numbers out of nowhere. It is generally from having this intention be placed into the collective conscience and it bringing back towards my journey, my success. So if I abstain from these rules or these morals or this moral compass of how I feel, I literally already will second guess myself due to the fact that it's made me the biggest artist that I am now.
Yeah, I think that's real dope. And the thing is, more artists should be like that. Like you said, a lot of artists grow up in these conditions, and they always, like a lot of them tend to not even act like it was something that even happened. It's like once they're good, they're like, okay, I'm good. That never happened. I'm living my life here. It's all glitz and glamour. But it's like, why do you think a lot of artists do that? Like artists who grow up in the struggle know that it's the problem, but once they're good, they don't do anything about it.
Well, I can tell you, it was just like what I was telling you with certain intellects that get a hardened heart for a collective of their time or their reality. There is a very harsh reality to this industry that most artists, like a lot of people will complain about Russ, saying, oh, I sent to all these blogs and they don't want to deal with me anymore. They didn't want to deal with me then, so they're not going to deal with me when I'm blowing, and people hate him for that. But what he needs to understand, and other people need to understand in both ways, is that he needs to understand that they're not going to go for something that isn't a no-brainer to make money. That's just how they've been. And then what other people need to understand, to not hate Russ for what he's doing, he's doing what every other artist. They say he's too cocky. Artists have to be cocky to even believe the stuff that they're projecting in their music. As well, it's genuinely like people need to understand that every artist is doing what he's doing. But what I'm saying is what artists do, the reason why their hearts harden is because their reality of their time, how they got up. It costs nothing for somebody to support your local artist. I mean, you literally have, we understand, once the music industry starts breaking down to us, we start seeing those 100 million views starts to break down to that one person's hand we shake. So then we start to understand what's necessary towards, could you share this? We start understanding that that's not small anymore because that can turn into 2 million shares. The literal sales are coming from people. Once you actually understand that, you start going to target those people, and then those people start to show you how much they don't really care about you. And then that you start getting an ongoing feeling. I mean, you got to think about it. A lot of these artists, you know, yeah, okay, you talk to me, your life is going to be changed. That'd be perfect. But I would have loved that to have that when I was grinding, when I had $5 in my pocket, no family member could help me, and I got a star. You wasn't there. You know what I mean? Like, you wasn't there for those times where I was in the rain, or I was those times where those engineers decided who was rappers too, and they were insecure about our verses together, so they took me off. They deleted it and said, "Oh, it's an Apple computer," but the power went out, and miraculously that song got deleted. And our music is our soul, so you just deleted my soul. You just deleted pieces of myself. You go through a lot of these different avenues in the industry that nobody is seeing. These artists have to jump these hoops, to get through. And everybody is just seeing, okay, it's just like the tip of the iceberg. Everybody is seeing the tip of the iceberg, and they're deciding to come with, and they're ultimately belittling our intelligence on a day-to-day basis, where it's like people who in direct, not cognitive dissonance, but in direct paradigm shift, they were one way, which you saw how they responded to you. Their whole energy was, no, I don't feel you, I don't this. But as soon as you look like you're about to be something, now they want to be that rapper's friend. Like, it's up to like that we get to that point where you have to decide to understand that if you were in their shoes, you would do the same thing, but you were in their shoes, so you made yourself something different, so you don't see why they can't do it either. But at the end of the day, you knew, this is the other thing that can help those artists not. You knew that you didn't get there alone. Artists are fucking lying. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, self-made, I'm not going to lie to you. We can call ourselves self-made because we had the nose to know what was beneficial for our career. But you can't, it's no way you can say you got there alone. Like, it was that one person that said, I see this in you. And you got to keep that alive for those other people. Those people who betrayed you and all those people who's turning their face on you and things like that, that shouldn't weigh over to the people who deserve your hand. They deserve that hand. That you got that hand, so why not you be that person that give that hand back as well? So that's why I believe artists do it, and that's why I'm different in that venture.
Yeah, and you made a lot of good points, just with everything you were saying, especially like the artists have to be cocky part. Like, you have to at some point, because it's so many doubters when you're trying to pursue being a musician. It's always going to be somebody telling you you're not hot. And it's always somebody trying to make it seem like you're not really doing shit. So if you don't have that thick skin to be able to stick your chest out and be like, I know my shit is dope, I know I'm going to be something big one day, you're going to fall. Because you won't even be able to handle all of the doubters and naysayers. You know what I'm saying? And especially with the blog thing, like, one of the reasons why I started my own blog for artists is because there was so many dope artists out there that couldn't get any press. And, like, I'm talking to them, and they like, man, ain't nobody posting me. Or if they trying to post me, they trying to make me pay them to post. Or if they do post, it's like just my press. Like, they not actually listening to my song or doing a review. And I'm like, that's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like, these artists work too hard. Like, people don't know what it takes to be an artist. Like, all of, like, just the emotional toll that it could take on the artist, where you just having to just make sure you come up with the best shit possible, hoping that people hear you, putting in hours and hours, making sure the mix is right, making sure your words is right, making sure you pick the right beat, make sure you can get the beat. Once you do find the right beat, if you're not producing for yourself, it's so many just pitfalls that an artist can fall to if they don't have that thick skin and really just know that this is for them. It's so easy to fall. Like, what has helped you stand strong during your journey of being an artist?
Honestly, I'm going to touch on a lot of the things that's like kind of like the drawbacks from being an artist. First off, as an artist, you're going to deal with the most egotistical people in, like, your industry is the most egotistical people, and there's a reason for that. They had to make their persona something that actually mattered to people, okay? So that persona of being an artist or being a DJ or being a radio talk show host, the Instagram personalities and things like that, you making yourself that, you have to have a certain amount of will to actually contract that type of authority on the world anyway. Understanding that, I've understood this through martial arts. When I was around 10 years old, I started training in martial arts, and I've been training for 13 years. That has been the monolith, that has been the catalyst, that has been my go-to, that has been I will not be broken, because nothing will break me physically, nothing will break me mentally, nothing will break me spiritually. So this is a decision. This is a lot of people don't put enough effort to their approach to life. You want these things to happen. You want these things to work. You want these things to manifest. Then you have to be the battery. You have to understand what that means. That means you have all these hours in the day. You say these people ain't posting you. How did you come to them? Yeah, they're going to ask you for money because you came to them like everybody else. Come to them with something new. Come to them with something that provides value. You know, there's a way that artists, this is the best way you should do business. There's a certain word for it. I'm not really like that scientifically well-versed to know the word, but I can tell you the analogy, or I can tell you the situation. The situation is when you are in business, make it like the alligator and the bird. The bird cleans the alligator's teeth and gets food. The alligator gets clean teeth. Now, what this analogy means is provide mutual value. And I like to over-provide value with people I work with so they can be motivated to do more possibility and more fruitful things and not just inconvenience, but because once you support me, my heart is in everything that you do. It's only fair because I don't want to feel like I'm just using you. And that's how you don't use that person. You feel, you genuinely, like, this is my own natural, like, I'm trying to teach other people to get to that point, but this is my own natural default. Anyways, I naturally already want to invest into somebody else's potential in their future. So when I feature, it even goes into when I feature with people. That's why I'm not insecure about features. It's the collective of the song. And as well, I want to breathe into that person's musical potential. I want that sound that they're making to be the greatest thing ever just because I encountered. And it doesn't matter if they know it or not. And at the end of the day, there's profound things to place your mind on that will refill you when you're drained by this industry. Your heart is going to be broken. That is in everything in life. That is why every story, like Michael Jordan not being able to get on his middle school basketball team, Einstein selling his, all these different things, all of the greatness has led with something that was a failure. You cannot see failure as something that is going, if failure makes you stop, you are just something willing to fail in you. You have to see your success. You have to breathe your success. You have to believe your success before anybody else does. And that is how it will leak over into everybody else. No matter what, that is, you have to go. Your mind state is the first thing that works as an artist because guess what we're using, what we're drawing from? We're drawing from that subconscious. That subconscious, the reason why we can't reach it in the conscional plane is because it is not in that language. We have these emotions to let us know what is going on the inside. And the inside, we're professing these things. So get that together before you start trying to be an artist. You won't be broken so easily. And being good to people, being good to people have taken me, have blown. I literally did not allow myself to, like, I could have gotten in this game when I was 15 years old. I'm 23. I waited until last year. November to come out as Biggastate. And the reason why I've gotten this far, being able to be featured on projects with 21 Savage, Block Boy, JB, Black Youngster, being able to feature with artists that's featured with Lil B, Bun B, Tory Lanez, and be able to talk to millionaires like Nafu, be able to befriend people that was friends with XX Tension that was like, that's working with QC named Lil Chubby. Like, all of these people have come from my genuine flair that projects to them that I'm different, because I am. The things that I allow myself to feel are not things I'm getting myself to believe. They are already things I accept. So accept yourself first before you come to this game. Then you won't care about rejection because you accept yourself.
That's actually a great point. And I tell people all the time, like, just being a naturally good person will get you very far in life, period. Like, because nobody wants to deal with an asshole. Like, it don't matter how much money you got, how beneficial the situation can be. If you're not a good person, people just not going to want to deal with you. So just be cool, and I promise you'll get through a lot more doors that way.
All right, I 1,000% agree.
Yeah, but what I like to do now, I like to get into some more music. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play that Biggastate Blessing freestyle.
Okay.
Yeah,
also, my bad. Basically, my editor at the time, I didn't change it because like the views went up to like 60,000 on Instagram, but my editor didn't know the song title changed. The title is called "The Light" on Spotify, just for like being able to find the correct song on iTunes, Spotify, Pandora, everything that you need to find it on every platform and things like that. Sorry about that. I was just giving them I didn't let you know that. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, that's cool. So is Biggastate The Light? That's how they can find this one.
Yes, sir.
All right, then. Let's get into that Biggastate The Light right now.
All right. I pay my dealer and they never do counter. Jump to conclusion, my checks never bounce. Cause they know it's all there. Was used to be cold. And they said, baby, let's go. Was receiving a no. And now it's a hell yeah. Devilish, devious bitch. Forfeit on the pro and they finish. My profit to never be with them in M's. Got me nothing on all of their friends. I'm defensive and now it depends. Run back up cause I gave it a chance. It's just scheming, I fuck up the plans. Do me dirty, get fresh with the fans. Beat it just like a drum, damn. Call up a parade in advance. Used to let it see your face, yeah. Used to let it see your face, yeah. Now I can't stay here. Now you can't stay here. Now you can't stay here. Yeah, I just said it. So down to earth till you fuck up my credit. Why did I give you a shot? Now you a bullet I dodge. What a blessing, what a blessing, what a blessing, what a blessing, what a blessing. No time for a nigga to stress it. Over my line, cause I gotta teach you a lesson. Put you first now, give me a second. Swear to God if they leaving, then let them. Just let them. Let them give you a blessing. Let them give you a blessing. Let them give you a blessing. Swear to God if they leaving, let them give you a blessing. Let them give you a blessing. Send it off like a message. And I never could care, get anything tucked through the wreckage. I don't even care what you said. Really been broken. I'm staying in touch. Never can throw it. Toss like tokens. Know that I really go get a good corner in the phrase. This is the way. Didn't go in and I'm taking the time to give you the day. And all of the things and all the mistakes we really didn't make. I'm coming correct now, but it's just really too late. And I gotta say that I'm giving the hard, you don't reciprocate. And this is the time I gotta do my part, you will never see the day. And I was in the shit and I was talking about you really just a disarray. And I got it together and I get in the Benz, I know that it's really okay. No time for a nigga distracted. Over my line, cause I gotta teach you a lesson. Put you first now, give me a second. Swear to God if they leaving, then let them. Just let them. Let them give you a blessing. Let them give you a blessing. Let them give you a blessing. Swear to God if they leaving, let them give you a blessing. Let them give you a blessing. Send it off like a message.
Yeah, that was Biggastate, The Light. Make sure y'all check that out on all streaming services. So my question is, what was your creative approach? What was your creative process when making The Light?
I freestyle majority of my projects because I just like to. Music is like a physical feeling for me. So I like to make sure as well. Like I want to be able like my goal on Freshman XL on any freestyling thing. Like when I get like all these things which they're coming up and things like that. I want to be able to like go on there for like an hour. So I've been like that's why I took so long to come out until I was 22 to build up my freestyle. And so a lot of my constructive process with that was from my ex. And as well, I wanted to make a song that, like, I like to appeal to, like, a lot of people, they got, like, a lot of skill with rap, but they don't appeal to the generational appeal, basically. Like, the generation will start liking a certain amount of sounds. You know, they'll start liking the little pumps out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Like, there's a certain amount of sounds that the generation is asking from you. So I wanted to make a song that really you can listen to while you're cooking. You can listen to and dance. You can listen to and think about the last thing you went through. Like I like to actually when I make songs, I like to target things. Like when I go into when I went out to Hawaii, I told myself I had certain categories that I had to make certain songs. I had to make relatable songs, a sad song, an X song. I had to make a reggae song. I had to make a singing song. I had to make a pop song. I had to make all these different things because music is something that once you start trying to marginalize yourself, you start cutting off your potential. So my creative process was I basically had to make my EP Shade within an hour. So because I had a lot of groups that was trying to make sure that I don't come out there and prevail. I'll just keep it like that. I'm not trying to sound like one of those artists. Everybody here know me. I basically had to freestyle it in an hour, and my engineers, this is why I shout out Kyle Strings and Casey 808. Casey's been in the game for 15 years, and this is the guy I'm talking about that's featured with Tory Lanez, featured with Bun B. Sway even looked for him and things like that. It's mentioned on one of his music videos and things like that. And these two artists that I keep mentioning, they're literally the only two that's featured on that EP. Because we were able to make this freestyle EP Shade within an hour. Like, even the name, I came up with it on the fly because I like to drop stuff like Kamikaze, like Eminem drops Kamikaze. I want my fan. I don't want you to think that I needed to go through these big promotion places or anything like that. I want you to think that I'm an orchestrator. I want you to think that I play chess with my career. So I drop things. Sometimes I'll give you a week's preparation. Sometimes I'll give you 1 day. Sometimes I'll give you 15 minutes. Sometimes I'll drop something while I'm on the radio. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, so in general, making this EP was really stressful and fun at the same time. But I made it within an hour, as well as I finished a Wahoo feature with this guy named Qualified. These are Broken Hearted sponsored artists that was out there, and Broken Hearted is like the Hawaiian Supreme out there. It's like the farmers market. Like, you'll see a lot of people in Hawaii who wears this clothing and things like that. I just came back from Hawaii, so that's why you'll see a lot of like my speech is oversaturated with it and things like that. Shout out to Hawaii. As well, I was able to go ahead and finish that feature. So it was 7 songs that was done in an hour, and this was one of my first projects dropped, and it was one of my most. I'm happy with it because even now I just dropped a music video preview to one of the songs called "Patient." It went 30K views on Instagram, 2,600 likes, 143 comments within an hour, and it just got dropped today on Nafu, the boss's YouTube channel. Big guy, verified on Twitter, over 100 million following by all the companies he has and things like that. Dope guy. Any artists who really want to start out, any artists who really want to be independent and stay independent and actually have somebody who's not just trying to take your money or anything like that, work with Nafu, the boss. Shout out to that guy. He's a very real dude. So that is on YouTube now. I'm pretty sure you can find that on the algorithms and Instagram by now or whatever, and on Twitter because he just retweeted me. Actually just tweeted the YouTube video on his verified Twitter account. So, yeah, that was my creative process. Sorry about my long answers. I kind of just like to answer things, like, completely. Like, I don't like to half-ass anything.
No, I enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? Like, just let it flow. You know, I really appreciate it. You know, just being so insightful, you know what I'm saying, and being able to share it with the people. You know what I'm saying? Take a special type of person to do that. But for me, something that stands out about your music to me that I truly enjoy is your flow. Like, it's like, it just seems so effortless. You do it so effortlessly, and it's like, it almost sounds like a physical representation of your flow would almost be like back in the day when people was playing street ball, and like they'd just be able to just do whatever they wanted with the rock. It sounded like that to me, like and it's like, damn, yeah. You really like. I like it a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, what inspired your flow? Like, did it take time to even groom it to that level, or was it something that you always had naturally?
It's something that people have told me that I've had naturally, but I never believed until I got to this level. So when I say it, I mean a lot of people saw that I had this unique approach to how I did my metaphors. My metaphors are like contrast, like cold shoulder to warm the bench. I like to do stuff like that. I like to take sayings that you have heard so many times and make it into my own, you know, like my own little unique spin-off. So it gives you relativity, and then it gives you a new refreshing feeling. Like, I had these concepts, but I had to understand the dynamics and the flavor of rap. So I did take a hiatus from rapping. Like, I used to be called J Habit and things like that. I took a hiatus from rapping all the way until I was 22. Like, I literally came out last year and made this much of a headway. So at the end of the day, I feel I had affinity to hear the whisper of my potential, but I didn't understand how to control it manually until now.
Yeah, just the fact that you only, like, been putting music out for a year and having so much success, I think it really just shows how much you're doing what you're meant to do. You know, like, I remember, I want to say it was maybe Louis Farrakhan, he said that when you're doing exactly what you're supposed to do, the universe helps you. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything's so for you. You know what I'm saying? I think you're a living testament of that just by just starting out and all the big things you've been able to do and just how great the music is. Like, if you would have told me, like, I only really put music out last year, I was like, when you said it, I was like, are you serious? I was like, just looking at everything, I'm like, holy shit. Like, that's crazy. You don't expect to see that in a year. You know, at least it take people years. Like, I would tell somebody at least 2 to 3 years, you know, before you really even start seeing progress. So to have immediate progress, like, how does that feel for you?
It honestly, it was all planned. I mean, all these artists that, like, have done what they've done, like, I like to make plans so much. I like to make a lot of plans succeed so much that I forget about them. And then they come back to me out of nowhere, and I'm like, oh, yeah, this was here. Honestly, it feels, for me, like I came from a very, very harsh circumstance, you know, like, and like I, not only just being from Chicago, like as many times that I was on my own, I was homeless, I had my friends to help me and things like that. I didn't really have any support but that, you know, and that really fed into my character and how I treated people and how I accepted things, how I appreciate things. So I appreciate it so much. It goes into how much, like, it goes into better in my music. It goes into better in myself as a person. So it feels how exactly as it should feel, honestly. Like, I can't really describe it because, like I said, it was planned, and as well, I didn't expect for it to go as, like, you're not supposed to plan. It's just like that in martial arts. You're supposed to attack, expecting your attack to be blocked, and block expecting your defenses to be broken. And with that being said, I did not. It's just like, again, like with Mitt Romney, he didn't even have like a exit, like he didn't even have a speech for if he lost. Like, he was just dumbfounded. He didn't even believe he was going to lose, like, the election or anything like that. I know it didn't seem like it was relevant, but I associate that too. Like, you have to have a mind state to be ready to lose in something that you want to be successful in. Like, you got to, like, not saying that you just like, oh, I'm expecting yourself to lose. I mean, be ready to lose and have something that's already on the backup. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I've done this so many times. I've looked at, you can draw facts from the reality of whatever industry you're in. Look at the algorithms. Look at, why do they have social media having messaging? Like, why can I message people all around the world? Why not turn this into a promotion or turn this into a network? But people don't do that. They just think that, I'm supposed to get all this from making one song and everybody's supposed to bend over backwards to say, you're the next Drake. No, that's not how it goes. And I'm not expecting it to be that way. So how I feel about it is, like, I'm just getting started. This is everything that I'm going to hit. And mark my words, you're going to hear me, you're going to remember these words where this is, everything that I ever do is going to be small to me because I'm going for something better.
Okay. And where, like, if you have, like, a set, like, mark, where you're like, this is where I feel like I've made it and done everything that I want to do, what does that look like for you?
That looks like me looking at a majority of the world and not feeling like it's shit. Because I changed it.
And what would it take to achieve that?
Well, the political power of an artist is really underestimated. I'm going to show people how much power you can have as an artist and what you should have done with it when you get it.
What I like to do now is I like to get into this last song that you blessed us with, and this is that song, Drip.
Oh, yeah. Oh, can I give some background to this song before you go into it?
Go ahead, give it to us.
So this song is dropping December 7th, but it's actually, I'm not even going to tell you guys what's going on Thanksgiving. I got some things dropping, and this song has something to do with the relationship with that on Thanksgiving. But December 7th, this song drops with Smoke Ayo and Casey 808, artist that is featured with Tory Lanez and Bun B and Lil B and Famous from 808 Mafia and really large artists. This is bringing together Berkeley, California, Hilo, Hawaii, and Chicago, Illinois in one song. And this song is something that my cousin actually made the beat to. He's in Indiana, so I guess it brings in Indiana too. Shout out to NA Beats. Everything that is gone into this song, this is one of my songs that I had some fun doing, dealing with. I wanted to do some I wanted to sound like some Travis Scott. I wanted to make it something that was really urban. I wanted to make it something fun. And Casey immediately heard this beat, and he was like, okay, I got the chorus. All right, I got the chorus. I got my verse. Let's do this. And he's one of those guys, he makes his music literally just by doing punch-ins like Rich the Kid. So he'll go and go into there and do da-da-da-da-da. Sometimes he'll go through whole songs without having to punch in at all. So that's why it's so fun working with somebody that's in the same kind of work ethic as you, because when you freestyle, it's kind of intimidating. People don't know this. When you freestyle and you actually can make full songs from freestyling, people are actually intimidated when they're in the studio with you. It's very hard because some people, they have to redo their takes, and they feel like they're taking up the engineer's time. It's very essential to go in with a group that makes you feel comfortable with your creative process. And I didn't usually always have that. I kind of had to make it that way just with my personality, because people need to understand that the stuff that they focus on and think is important is just them projecting their own insecurities and a lot of other things on others. And in music, you got to come free as a page. So at the end of the day, that without further ado, Drip.
All right, yeah, let's give it to him.
Yeah. She saw the drip, so she took a pic. Said she was tired of all of the lows and she wanted dip. So we head to the crib. Give me that look like what now? I knew I was in. The 5.2 seconds I had to bend. Oh yeah, now she going crazy. How I keep it waiting. Now she wet, he diving like the Navy. Of course I use the Jimmy and it's word to baby. Yeah, I'm way too poppin', I ain't doing safe. But you can get this dig down, I ain't trippin'. Yeah, you can get your fix now. Let's go, let's get it. Just hop up in the whip now, I know you with it. Come get down with the get down, oh she saw the drip, so she took a pic. Said she was tired of all of the lows and she wanna dip. So we head to the crib. Give me that look like what now? I knew I was in. In 5.2 seconds I had a bend. Saw the drip, so she took a pic. Said she was tired of all of the lows and she wanna dip. So we head to the crib. Give me that look like what now? I knew I was in. In 5.2 seconds I had a bend. Oh yeah.
Already told you niggas that you never knew. Everything that we reach your avenue. Different streets to the road we driven to. Gotta fuck another bitch up in the coop. Pockets on blind, shit is Bellini. I watch with your chick Selena. Rush my shit like Jesus. From the Jesus pieces. She loyal to you, my dick shit true like Reese's. When I blew, she gave me head cause she knew she stopped fucking with you. Easy. Took it down south Reba. Downtown, watch me blow up bleachers. Put me on poster pop, leaders and following tweeters. Ghost face, killer, living, then I leave her.
She saw the drip, so she took a pic. Said she was tired of all of the lows and she wanna dip. So we head to the crib. Give me that look like what now? I knew I was in. In 5.2 seconds I had a bend. She saw the drip, so she took a pic. Said she was tired of all of the lows and she wanna dip. So we head to the crib. Give me that look like what now? I knew I was in. In 5.2 seconds I had a bend. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was that Biggastate drip, and that song is a part of something special that he has coming. I know what it is, but I'm not saying nothing if he ain't saying nothing. But that's drip for y'all. So what can the people expect next from you?
I got a lot of things going on. I actually just dropped this dance challenge that's going on. This is something that I've been kind of getting like a lot of my fans anticipated for. This is something that is going to be like, I'm trying to make it the new shoot. I'm trying to make it like, you know what I'm saying? It's to one of our songs. We started out, it was supposed to be a certain other concept, and then this big artist slash Instagram like model named Malik Watson was like, y'all should turn this into a song, you know, like a dance song. You know what I mean? Like I already said I want to do like a dance challenge to it or whatever like that. Y'all should change the chorus into like a song lyric. You know what I mean? A dance song lyric. So we went back, changed up the chorus, and it turned into Ayo Switch. So it's called the Switch Challenge. You heard it here first. You're the first radio to be able to receive this. This is gonna be big. So with that being said, it's gonna be, you're gonna be able to win $1,000. If you can copy the challenge, and the best copy of the dance is gonna win $1,000. You can either have an Xbox One X, PlayStation 4 Pro with a VR headset, or a free paid trip to Hawaii, because I love poke. With that being said, this is out on my Instagram at Biggastate, BIGGASTATE. I have 18.8K followers, so you can be able to, know which one, because there's a lot of like fan pages and fake pages made of me now. I take it as a form of flattery, so it's all good. They're promoting me anyway, so it don't matter. With that being said, you're going to see me in the video. You guys don't have to do breakdancing or doing gymnastics or anything like that. That's just my natural flair that I add to make things interesting and things like that. this challenge, basically to enter in, you just gotta go ahead and look at the video, see how you can do the dance, send a screenshot proof of song stream switch off of Endless Summer. That's Casey's new album, Endless Summer 3. It's a bonus track on iTunes, basically, and it's on Spotify as well. So whatever streaming source, you can go ahead and do that. It's not on SoundCloud. So, like, if anybody don't have it on SoundCloud or anything like that, just kind of, I guess you could kind of use my videos, music in the background, and then just go ahead and hit that. You feel me? And then basically post the video to your story or your page and at me, hashtag me, and you'll be entered in. And then we'll see on December 7th when Drip actually drops who won.
Oh, damn. Y'all make sure y'all look out for that. Now, we are at the tail end of the show. You know, this part of the show is really where you just get all your shout-outs in, anything you want to plug, or just anything you want to say. The floor is yours to do so now.
Okay, shout out to Stick to Your Roots clothing brand, Broken Hearted clothing brand, Farmers Market clothing brand, Vessel clothing brand, California clothing brand, Smoke Ayo artist, KC808, Cal Strings, J2K, Zay Rich. Shout out to NA Beats. Shout out to Kid Kill. Shout out to Nafu the Boss. Shout out to Lil Chubby. Shout out to that kid Patchy Productions, great videographer in Iowa. Shout out to Yuma Short, great videographer in Hawaii, as well as Haku Films on Instagram, as well as John Gers on Instagram, GRS. Just typed all that together. He's worked with MTV, very famous photographer. Shout out to Cabbage. Shout out to Keone Payton, who owns Broken Hearted and Farmers Market. Be holding down Hawaii over there. Inviting me to your home. Thank you for that. Shout out to Sauce Walker, just because he's a great inspiration to me. I haven't been able to be in without. Sorry for the Sauce 3. I think I'd be a little bit more boring than what I am right now. Other than that, shout out to everybody that's supporting me. For real, I'm the one artist that support is gonna go to the right place.
All right. And with me, I'd just like to thank you for just coming on here and giving me your time, blessing us with your music and your art and your vision. It's truly appreciated. And just like to do a quick shout-out to all the supporters that support everything from Global Money Radio, the Global Media Blog, Global Money Group, all of that stuff. I appreciate all y'all. Shout out to the whole Global Money family. So until next time, and one more thing, guys, make sure y'all check out everything, Biggastate, everywhere. So until next time, stay global,
everything.
Yeah. So until next time, my people, stay global, my friends. We out. Peace.
Peace.
Thank you for choosing McDonald's drive-thru. How can I help you?
I'm asking for a raise today, so I'd like to practice.
Absolutely.
I feel I deserve a sausage McMuffin.
That's good.
And I insist on hash browns.
Love the confidence.
But in this case, I was thinking of a low number.
How low?
Low.
Michigan mornings start at McDonald's. Start your day with a fresh any-size coffee for $1 and make your morning routine a little better. At participating McDonald's, cannot be combined with combo meal.
Thank you for choosing McDonald's drive-thru. How can I help you?
I'm asking for a raise today, so I'd like to practice.
Absolutely.
I feel I deserve a sausage McMuffin.
That's good.
And I insist on hash browns.
Love the confidence.
But in this case, I was thinking of a low number.
How low?
Low.
Michigan mornings start at McDonald's. Start your day with a fresh any-size coffee for $1 and make your morning routine a little better. At participating McDonald's, cannot be combined with combo meal.